alarm went off and it said how you living. But I hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. That's really just all I had to say. I just feel it just feels good to trust yourself. It feels good to not listen to the outside noise. It feels good not to listen to the voices in your head that's not aligned with that. In the word right now, I don't know if it's the word of the month, one of the words of the years, word of the week, but expansion, 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 expansion. I even had a table, and whole time she was like a life coach or whatever. But I had said I don't know, and I do get caught up in that because it's like no, I do know, and I always have to correct myself. But she corrected me before I did. She was like, no, you do know, and it's just like yes, like so, girl, so you don't have to end up in this situation again, which you not. You good. We've done some great healing work. You now have the capacity to utilize what you have and allow it to expand. Like the seeds have been planted. Like you're not stuck right here. That's only just the 3D that be trying to trick you and stuff. No, you trick the 3D. Okay. But anyways, y'all. So one of the books I'm reading is called The Call, y'all. And I'm really not far into it, but it's so good. There's this one page. I don't know if it's so good. I might have to share it another time. I'll actually post it on the thing, but um, dang, I really wanted to. Y'all, it's in here somewhere. This is what made me pick up the book because I have flipped to this page. I be flipping to random pages. I know some of y'all feel me, and that'll determine if I'm gonna check the book out or not. But y'all, it is so good, and it was so aligned with some dialogue that I okay. Um, it basically is like, why would your God want you to suffer? But I'll post it on my post on YouTube. So I'm just gonna flip to another page. Spirit, okay. It is a rare moment. I am fully present. I am not doing anything. I am just here. And then I am gone. I am not asleep. In fact, I feel more awake than I have ever been. Those things I primarily identify as myself most of the time. Thoughts of the day, passing sensations of pleasure or discomfort, feelings of tiredness or contentment that come and go have receded. They are still there, but they are distant, like a TV in the corner of the room with the volume turned down to a whisper. And there is this vastness, this spaciousness that is at once completely empty and overwhelmingly full of aliveness, at once right up against my face and simultaneously behind my eyes, feeling me. There are no thoughts, descriptive, reflective, discursive, or otherwise. It is as if a curtain has parted and I'm staring down the center of an opening into what I know without thinking always has been and always will be within. I'm sorry, whoa, what? It is as if a curtain has parted and I am staring down the center of an opening into what I know without thinking always has been and always will be, with a consistency and a continuity unknown to the perpetually changing thoughts, events, and items that fill my daily life. That was like a run on sentence, but I get where she's going. There is a sense of participating in a vast holiness both inside me and surrounding me, but there is no distinguishable inside or outside. It is all me and yet more. I am not filled with stillness and peace. I am stillness and peace. And the notion that I have ever been or will ever be anything else is unthinkable because there simply is no thinking or feeling or sensing, no past or future. With a kind of wordless clarity, I know that I am and always have been and always will be surrounded by. participating in, and an embodiment of this vast and sacred presence that fills my awareness now by virtue of simply being. That's the whole point, being. With a wordless clarity, I know that this indescribable presence is paradoxically and simultaneously both the essence of what I am and the nature of that which is larger than myself. I feel that. It is the great mystery. It is what I am made of, what everything and everyone is made of. It is what we participate in with every breath. And without thought, everything, the world, my life, makes sense, is complete in some strange, unexplainable way. I am emptied of all that I normally identify as my quest for meaning, the questions and doubts and beliefs and feelings I experience and struggle with each day, and yet simultaneously full, whole, complete. It is overwhelmingly simple and yet total inexplicable. If someone asked me who I was and why I was here, the answer would be the same. Could only be this. This completeness is both what I am and why I am here. I don't know how long I stay like this. In this awareness, the idea of time has no meaning. There is only a perpetual now. And then at some point, I think, holy shit, what was that? I made it. I made it beyond the incessant chatter in my head into just being here now. All this is about presence. The act of naming my experience and celebrating this achievement has, of course, moved me back into a fuller awareness of, and at least partial identification with my thoughts and feelings. But the experience of that place within me, the awareness of that spacious and yet full and dynamic stillness that is beyond, behind, and within everything, and the certainty that this is the very nature of inner and outer reality stays with me. I sit up and flip on the light next to my bed. Everything in the room is as it was, but the room appears to be filled with a strange light, as if the air itself is infused with a fine gold dust. I blink and rub my eyes, but the strange luminosity remains. This acute awareness of the essence of all that is ebbs and flows with the next day's activities, but never totally vanishes. It's as if the two halves of the curtain of unconsciousness can never come back completely together again once they have been parted. And so a gap, sometimes a slim crack and at other times a wide opening, remains through which the awareness of what is can shine. I'm gonna keep going, y'all, cause she like the next sentence is like, okay, like she's tracking with the reader, writing or talking about an experience that is beyond thought and so beyond words can be problematic. Literally, the temptation is to invent a new word to capture the experience, but that new word would hold little meaning for anyone but me. I play with capitalizing simple words like being or presence to describe the indescribable, but these become vague terms and create the illusion that what is embedded in every ordinary moment of existence is somehow special and removed from the everyday. Ooh. But these become vague terms and create the illusion that what is embedded in every ordinary moment of existence is somehow special and removed from the everyday, relegating the sacred to that which is special, to moments, people, activities, or things we see as separate and exceptional, is part of what has allowed us to stop caring for all aspects of the world. Is how we have lost track of what we are and the meaning embedded in every moment of our lives. So I content myself with using phrases that point toward the taste and touch and feel of the direct experience of what we are. Knowing these words are only an approximation, a pointing toward that which can be experienced but can never be captured with concepts or words. An ancient Buddhist story tells us that the teachings, the words, are like a finger pointing to the moon and warns us not to mistake them for the moon itself. Mm. Remember that what I am pointing to with phrases such as a deep and dynamic stillness at the center of vast and all inclusive spaciousness, or a silent and certain wholeness, is not confined to or defined by these words. These words, my stories, are only a way of pointing to what can be experienced but cannot be named. They are, as Rumi wrote, the smoke the fire gives off. They are not the fire itself. When I write about my experience of this fire that is my essential nature, as also that which surrounds and reaches for and calls to me, I have capitalized the name I give to it, calling it God or beloved or the sacred mystery. In truth, there is no separation. There is only the one fire running through the center of all that is. I have experienced the acute sense of my essential stillness many times in my life, often for only a moment. It's as if the normal activity of life, the noise and doing around and within me suddenly has a crack in it, and I find myself unexpectedly and overwhelmingly at peace in the gap between this exhale and the next inhale. Sometimes this happens in a more sustainable way when doing a meditation practice, and often it comes spontaneously when I'm in the beauty of the wilderness I love. Out on the vision quest, I was able to spend long hours just being with the natural world around me, and I became aware of a vast silence that is at the center of all sound. In a world of too much noise, both inner and outer, the very cells of my being ache to drink in this silence. Oh, to taste this stillness. I wrote in my journal on the second day of my quest. Let me repeat that. She said, in a world of too much noise, both inner and outer, both inner and outer. The very cells of my being ache to drink in the silence, to taste the stillness. I wrote in my journal on the second day of my quest. Here in this place, I touch a silence so complete. It makes my ears ache and my heart startle in confusion. After all these years of sound, after all the noise that has come between me in being fully alive. It swallows me whole. This great silence that comes in the moment after the wind dies and the pine suddenly holds still. It takes me by surprise. This unexpected quiet after the red squirrel runs over the log and up the tree and across the branch, disappearing into the deep woods. It comes as the sun slides down the sky and all is quiet, the songbirds holding their breath for a moment, as if by common agreement, then night peepers not yet singing, and for a moment lying here in the fading light on a sun-warmed bed of pine needles, even the sound of my own heartbeat, a thrumming deep inside, is gone. And all there is the great silence that holds it all, and something inside lets go, and I rest in the arms of the beloved. Damn. Y'all, like I was really only trying to read one page, but she just is. This is just so like mind bending. Like it's just something in her pen. Like that is the home we all long for, the belonging at the center of the ache we feel for something more, even when our lives are going well. Ooh, it is a longing to know, to experience both our own wholeness and the presence of that which can hold that wholeness. That which is larger than ourselves. The two are inextricably, did I say that correctly? Linked. An experience of one always includes an opening to the other. An experience of one always includes an opening to the other. We are given in this experience of our essence knowledge of both who we are and why we are here. When we move into simply being, we touch the meaning we need in order to live fully. When we move into simply being, we touch the meaning we need in order to live fully. To hear and answer the call to commit fully to being in my life. To hear and answer the call to commit fully being in my life. Excuse me. To Hear and answer the call to commit fully to being in my life. I must learn to be with whatever is, even when that is a lack of conscious awareness of the still center. If I am exclusively caught in my identity with daily concerns and passing through thoughts and feelings, I mistake constantly changing circumstances for all there is, and my sense of well being gets batted about like a ping pong ball, depending upon moment to moment conditions within and around me, conditions that are largely beyond my control. Without the perspective of knowing my essence, I will suffer, and in doing so, I cannot help but spread suffering in the world. We're gonna stop right there. Without the perspective of knowing my essence, I will suffer, and in doing so, I cannot help but spread suffering in the world. God, gosh almighty. I feel like it was aligned with everything I said in this video. I don't even know if this is going to be uploaded as two separate videos or I'm putting it together, but wow. I pray and trust y'all receive something from these videos or this video. Balaha nang an Dios, that means let God take care of it. Use your mind, don't let your mind use you. Te amo mucho, cuídate en la calle.